So I have decided to step outside once again and record a commentary, clarifying a few things about what my issue is really with the arguments made by the people on my own side. And to really, I should say, clarify the fact that when you view my videos and you're sitting there, if you're one of these type of people that are preparing yourself to thumb down the video or flag the video because you think that I'm right-wing, anti-feminist, whatever, you think something that I have never associated with myself. You could say what you will about the content of my videos, unless I associate it with something, unless I tag myself in some manner. I'm not saying that I am that. I don't want to have people coming to my channel saying that I'm anything that I haven't rightly said that I am. Because I think that when people label others, that's important. Because it's usually done so to the benefit of their own ego. It's not actually any kind of coherent opinion that they're giving. It's not really an argument that's based on much more than their own fucking ego. That's the issue with progressives. That's one of the issues why I have such a problem with these people on the left, is that they're very much based in authoritarian politics, and rather than talking about morality or godliness, which is what you hear from the right, they're basing it on social justice, that this is what's best for society. And because of that, I get to dictate what that thing is, what the thing is we need to do, what we need to focus on, what the issues I say exist. It's based on my own sense of morality, my own sense of social justice. It's literally the same argument based on the fact that you have a fucking ego and you think you know shit. It's just the left-wing's version of the moral majority. It is the exact same fucking stance, the exact same fucking worldview. And that's my issue here. This is very much, in a sense, a shot across the bow. This is me, another leftist or another liberal, telling you liberals, you need to get your shit together. Because the arguments you're making are fucking dumb. And it doesn't matter how many times that you repeat the same ridiculous talking points, they're going to be just as easy to knock down. So when you come out and you say certain things that are demonstrably not true, you lose that much more sway in other things that you might be right on for the right reasons. When you make arguments that are not at all coherent, just nonsensical fucking statements, it's that much easier to write you off in the same way that you write people off based on your own ego. This person's a racist because I say so. This person's a sexist because I say so. This person is any form of bigot because I say so. That is as authoritarian as it gets, because you're saying I'm a credible source of information. I'm the best arbiter that exists to judge people based on these factors, and I'm telling you this person is this thing that I'm judging and condemning them as. And let's not fucking pussyfoot around with this. When you label someone as something, when you label them as something that is insincere as shit, that there's nothing really credible or substantive that you're basing this on, but you're simply trying to dismiss them and their argument, to say that, this guy is like from fucking rural Kentucky and he's burning a fucking cross in his yard. This guy is some fucking misogynist from, yesteryear. He's some fucking Roman legate and he's like raping a woman that he has fucking conquered or some shit. When you're labeling people as these things and you're using that as a basis, not just to dismiss them and their argument, but to bolster yourself, your own ego, and say why you're more right than they are, or more righteous, really, is what the thing that I think it is. It's just you trying to make yourself more moral than others. You sound like a child. You sound like someone that is simply trying to call someone a bad word and do so in a way that you can use bully tactics and peer pressure to dismiss that individual. I mean, look at all the public shaming. What do you think that's based on? You think that public shaming and this culture that has existed on the left for going on a few years now, of looking for people to harass, looking for people to get out of their job and fuck with, you think that's for genuine reasons? You think that's simply to do the right thing for social justice? In the name of social justice, in the name of our society, we're going to find this person and get them out of their fucking job? You think that's the reason they're doing this? No, it's for bully tactics. It's to have some measure of authority. It's to feel righteous. That is what motivates these people, and that's why I don't agree with it. When it comes down to arguments, you can mock people. You can say things about them in order to make fun of their ego, to take them down a peg if you feel like that's necessary. But that should not be the basis of your argument. A good example would be Christopher Hitchens, who would from time to time mock people. Look at Princess Diana. When it came to him, he mocked her every fucking chance that he got an opportunity to do so. He mocked her. He also mocked people like Mother Teresa, which he had a credible basis to, argue against for her history. There are people that you can have a substantive reason to disagree with them or to say why they should be dismissed as any kind of authority on anything. But it has to be based on something. You can mock them too, but that shouldn't be the first thing. That shouldn't be the first thing that you implement to say why a person is wrong. But it seems to me with progressives, that's it. They found a fucking third rail. They found a third way to do it. They label them as something that no one wants to be labeled as. And they use that, and they pound away at it, and they chip away from that person's authority, that person's basis in society, or as any kind of voice in the ether. They try to use that single tactic of bullying in any other case, but they've now found the right vocabulary to use in order to actually do damage. They now do damage to these people in the press, on the internet, wherever they can find a platform to do it. They do it. A good example would be Sam Harris, who I'm not saying I agree with, disagree with, whatever. Let's just say that everything they say about him is correct. He's a shill for the West, he's pro-Israel and against the horribly occupied people of Palestine. All the things they say about him, let's just say they're all true, okay? If he says something that is based on actual data, actually has a coherent opinion, based on polls, based on statistical data, based on things that he's saying are an issue in his opinion. But you turn around and say, well, yeah, that's a nice opinion, sir, but what about all the rest of this? What about all the rest of these things that you've ever said? This is why we should dismiss that opinion. No, that's not right. That's not how arguments work. That is not saying that his argument is wrong or ill-founded or something that can be dismissed based on the merit of what he said. It's you finding other things in order to say, this guy is not an authority. This guy is wrong about everything. And I'm just basing it on other things he said. I found things that he said that do not in any way relate to what he's talking about now. But for these reasons, he's a racist, he's a Western imperialist, all this shit. We shouldn't listen to him. None of us should be listening to them. And not only that, you should listen to me, because I'm the one that rightly pointed out this guy as being a Western imperialist. I pointed that out. That's why I'm worth listening to. That's what's happening here on a grand scale with liberals, with progressives, whatever you will. I am not a self-loathing leftist. I'm not someone that is looking to destroy my own side of the aisle, as it were. I'm a person trying to say that if we're going to have voices on the left, or we're going to have people that are on this side, so to say, then can we find people that aren't so fucking dumb, that aren't making stupid, inane fucking arguments, and at the same time trying to bully people? I don't like bullies. I don't like bully tactics. I don't like dickheads trying to get working class people out of a fucking job. Like, that's noble. That's noble to do, to get someone out of their fucking job. They make fun of me for using the word. I've seen it in several comments. They make fun of me. It is such a bourgeois thing. It is such a middle-class fucking thing to do. To say, oh, this guy lost their job. They'll be fine. They got savings. They'll be okay. They might have a family, but they'll be all right. You might disagree with them. They might say something that's a little bit racial. They might say something that's a little bit anti-Semitic. They might say something that's a little bit bigoted in any kind of way. No one should be trying to get them out of a fucking job unless specifically what they're speaking to has to do with their job. Then maybe you can say, hey, this is an issue. But again, you have to ask yourself, you're some asshole in the public. You're in the ether. You're on the internet. Is it right for you to try to get this person fired? Is it right for you to try to harm them economically? This is the underlying thing in my channel. You're on the left. You should be trying to fight for the working class. I mean, how many fucking Marxists are like, yeah, get this cunt out of a job. fuck this guy, fuck this person, he's a sexist, he's a bigot, kick this fucker out of a job, he's a working man, kick him out of his fucking job, he's part of the proletariat, kick him out of his fucking job, that piece of shit. Priorities, people, priorities. I mean, I'm not a Marxist, but I'm just going to say, anyone that declares himself a Marxist, especially if they're talking about all this social justice shit, which is all based in Marxism, you people, do you not understand the fundamentals of fucking Marxism? Do you not understand the fundamentals of the differences in class? I don't think you do. I don't really think you understand. I think that you're just kind of there. You just associate yourself with that kind of ideology, but you don't really understand it. Because the basis of that is class. And the fact that at any time you fucking people are trying to get a working class person out of a job, you're trying to harm them economically, and you do so with a straight fucking face. Not only that, you think you're noble in doing it. I'm already getting emotional because of how frustrating this is. Do those of you that are leftists, do you understand what I'm talking about here? Do you understand why this upsets me? Do you understand why I make these videos? Why I have this channel? Why I am on the left and why this is such a huge issue for me? So I'll end this video by just saying that if you are on the left and you think that you are in any way morally superior or in any way conscious of what's happening in America, the fact that you think costing a person their job, doing a person economic damage, you think that that's somehow justified and you're on the left, you need to reassess your priorities. Because there is some stupid shit flowing around in your head. You have a bad fucking worldview. And it's based on the fact that you are unequivocally authoritarian. And you're a cunt. Those two things. You're both authoritarian and a cunt. Those are two separate things, by the way. Authoritarian in terms of you think you're justified in everything you do and it's based on nothing more than your ego. And a cunt, meaning you really are a shallow, shitty person. So with those things in mind, I bid you adieu.